Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning. I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Good morning, Raghu. And we're waiting for a few minutes for a few more participants, and we shall begin.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, good morning, everyone. And I, on behalf of my team, welcome all of you to the first day of the annual technical festival, Cognitia 2021. And we'll start off the day with a game development workshop. So, this is the first session. We've decided it to be a total of 10 hours, and we'll be starting off with session one, which is supposed to be of approximately 2 hours. So, from 10, and we have Mr. Ambidi Raghu, who is going to be our instructor. So I welcome him from my team and hand over to take it forward.
Thank you. Yeah. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to Game Development Workshop. Myself, I'm Raghu, and the, so I'm in this industry from almost a decade. I'm using this software from past 10 years, and I'm into production and even into training as well. I have developed many things like 2D games, 3D games, VR, many other things. Okay, let's start with as you all know, we already discussed about installation part, and once again I'll give an overview like what we discussed yesterday. Okay, so yesterday we have seen I suggest to install the software Unity. The version which I suggested is 2020.3.19. Okay, and I hope everybody is having this software. Okay, if you have any queries and if you have any doubts, you can ping me in the chat. Okay, guys. So let's start with the software itself. Let's see the Unity editor. What are different windows, tools, and how to use it. Okay. The first thing, to open the software, you should have Unity Hub. You can see here. This is called Unity Hub. This is my Unity Hub. Okay. So what is the use of Unity Hub? I can maintain different versions. I can install more than one version of Unity here, and I can work on different versions. So I can create a project in different versions actually. Okay. So right now I have two versions. One is 2020 and 2019. In 2019, I have again subversions actually. It is 2019.4.31 and 2019.4.24. Okay, guys. So here I can maintain versions. This is Unity Hub actually. In Unity Hub, we have four tabs. In the left-hand side, you can see Project, Learn, Community, Installs. Projects where what all projects will be creating and working every day. You can see here. Actually. So far, I created these all sample projects. Okay, you can see project name and the location where you have saved, and you can see the Unity version, which version you are working here. Make sure when you're creating any project, okay, make sure in which version it was created. And suppose if you're uninstalling Unity and if you're opening again the project, make sure that it is opening in the same version. Otherwise, you will get some issues like scripts will be missing, the linking will be missing, many issues will be happening when you are moving to one version to another version. So that can be maintained here, that can be seen before opening the project. You can see here, and the current platform also you can see, and when this was created last modified, this just recently 43 minutes ago I just opened this project. You can see this was an hour ago, this a day ago, 16 days ago. You can see the time duration when this project was open, in which version it was open, and where it was saved, and what is the name of the project. Okay, guys. So now what I will do, I'll create a new project. Okay. So when you're creating a new project, also you have an option in which version you want to create. You can select the version, or if you're clicking directly on that, it will pick the latest version which you have installed. Okay, latest in the sense the advanced one actually. Okay. Now what I will do, I want to pick a specific here actually. I want to pick this one. Actually. I'm selecting this one. So it will open this window. Here you have a default templates, like if you want to make a 2D game, or you want to make a 3D game, or you want to make any VR related or augmented related application, many templates are already available here, like first person game, AR game, VR game. Many things are there already here, templates. So if you're picking the template, what will happen? The Unity editor, what we are going to see, that Unity editor, you require some settings actually. You require some settings. That settings will be already they bundled and kept here actually as a template. Okay, anyway, we are going to discuss 2D and 3D game. So I suggest, you can pick 3D directly and you can make even 2D and 3D games directly from there. There will not be much changes between these two. So I'm just clicking on 3D, or you can pick 3D like this by selecting. So now 3D have selected template, and you need to give a proper name to your project. Let's say this is our, uh, first project. Okay, this is my project name, and this is my location where I'm going to save this project. Okay, just create. These are the things we are going to see in our Unity editor. Okay, in Unity editor, we have something called how to navigate between scenes, how to open a game view, what is inspector, what is the hierarchy, what is project window, what is many other things. I guess this got opened, I guess, this first project. Yes. This is my first project. I just opened it. So whenever you're opening a default project, when you're creating a new project, you can see something like this. Here, we have different windows actually. See, every window in this project, every window in this editor, every window will have a name actually. You can see on top left. Top left, you can see the name of that window actually. This is scene window, this is game window, this is access store, and this is hierarchy, and this is project, and this is called console. And here you can see inspector. So even you can drag and dock actually wherever you want. You can dock this window actually. You can put here. You can customize your own editor. You can customize them. You can move based on your requirement. You can move them. You can add them. I don't want this here. I want to add here. I want my console window here. Something like this. Okay. Even the scene window, game window, you can move wherever you want. Something like this, it's all depends upon you, which is your comfortable, or however you want, you can customize them. If you think like something got messed up, how to get back actually, you can see in the top right, you have layout. If you click on this, there are all some predefined layouts already available, or you can click on default. This is a default layout, or you can go for 2x3 layout, or you can go for 4 splits, something. There are many things. Suppose let me pick this one 2x3 layout, and I customize something like this. I thought this is looking good. You can name this layout. You can name this layout. Simply save layout. Okay, you can name this layout. This is my layout. So this is my layout actually. If you've done something, okay, you messed up something, you have removed some file. Suppose I can remove this actually, close this tab, or something happened and you are unable to see the tab. Okay, you can get back. You can go back to your layout. Simply click on my layout. Again, it will reset actually. Okay, guys. I hope this you're following me. So here, this is how you can arrange all your windows here in this editor. On the top, you can see there are some this is a toolbar, and this is like, you can see file, edit, assets, game object, component, window. These are some tabs are available on the top. And the important thing here is when you're opening any project, let me open this. My project name is first project, right? And on the top, if you can see on the top, you can see my project name. The first line of this editor I'm talking about. The first line of this editor, please focus. This project name, my project name, and you can see something sample scene. Please, I'll explain what is this. And you can see PC, Mac, and Linux standalone. and you can see Unity 2020.3.19. These are the things are available on the top. The first part is called your project name. Whatever file name you are creating, whatever project name. Okay? The second thing is nothing but in every project will have a multiple levels actually. You will be working on multiple levels actually. Okay. So which level currently you are right now you are okay. Currently you are nothing but that is sample scene. Sample scene. My current level name is sample scene actually. The next thing is in which mode I'm working actually, for which platform I'm developing this application. Right now you're developing for PC platform actually. You are making a PC game actually. Okay. If you're switching platform for different, like for developing for Android, you know to switch the platform. Developing for iOS, you know to switch the platform. But developing for WebGL, for browser related thing, you need to switch platform. When you're switching the platform, it will show here which platform you're working actually. Okay. It will show right now we are the default editor will be in the PC actually. So once after completing whatever you want to develop here, if you are taking a build out of this, that will be a PC game actually. Okay, guys. So the first part is the project name, the current level name, and in which mode you're working. And the version is very, very important. You should make sure which version it is. Okay, guys. You cannot edit. You can see that these are the details actually. Then after this, these are some of the tabs. Anyway, we are going to see this one. At the bottom, that these are the tools what we are going to use to add objects and move, rotate, and many other things. Let's move to each window here. Okay. So you can see there are two windows here. On the left hand side, this is scene window and this is my game window. Here, the scene window, when looking at the scene window, this is my playground actually. Nothing but my designing area. This is my ground, infinite space. Actually, this is my infinite space. You can see this is my infinite space. I'm just moving here. You can see I'm just moving here. This is my infinite space. You can design how much level, how much big level you want to design. You can design here. There is no restriction here. You can design how much you want. Okay, this is my designing area. This space is my designing area. And the bottom one, you can see this space is designing area. What is the window name? This window name is scene window. Let me drag this here. This is my window name is scene window. You can see here, scene window. Okay, guys, this is my scene window. Let me drag, let me put it back here. I'm putting bottom here. And one more window you can see same as it is, like sky. You can see this is my sky and this is my ground actually. You can see this window name is game window. This window is nothing but output. Output. If you're playing a game in your mobile, whatever you're able to see, that output window, that window is nothing but game window. Okay, guys, this is your output window. Whatever you are able to see here, the same content. If you're playing on a game, that screen and this screen both are same. There's nothing but this is my final output. How I'm going to see. So whatever you are designing, make sure that is visible here. Okay, guys. Fine. The next thing. So now we have seen nothing. One window is scene window and game window. And scene window, imagine I have some objects here. Let me add some objects here. Some 3D objects. I have some cube over here. Let me see. I have one object here. You can see. Let me add some more objects. I have one more object here. So there are some objects in my level actually. This is my designing area. Okay. I have some objects. One is cube object, one is sphere object. But you can't see here in the game window. There are some objects in your level. Okay. That objects, whatever objects are there in your level inside your designing area, that object name and that object name, the list can be seen in another window that is called hierarchy window. Okay, hierarchy window and scene window. This is called hierarchy window, guys. This is very, very important. Okay, let me put it here. This is called hierarchy window, guys. Okay, whatever object you can see, if I select here, I can see here sphere, select that object names will be available here and you can arrange them however you want. Okay, and in scene window you can see the visual objects and the names and their hierarchy can be seen in the hierarchy window. So scene and hierarchy are same. Okay, scene and hierarchy are same. So now my question is, I have some objects in my level but I can't see in my game window. Yes or no? I can see here, I'm telling that game window is my output window. You designed something. Okay, you designed something, you added some object, but that should be able to see in the game window, right? That means those objects are not in the scope, not in the scope. Like, like let's take an example of creating a, creating a movie. Okay, if you want to create a movie, okay, what you'll do, you need a story, you need a director, you need a cameraman to capture the content, right? In the same way, you have all your objects, but the objects which are not captured by the camera, these objects are not captured by the camera. Now, where is my camera now? Okay, that camera object can be seen inside. Let me drag back. This camera object can be seen inside a hierarchy. So this is my camera. Here is my camera. This camera object is here. Okay, the object, if I disable, if I remove this camera, you can see in the game window, you're telling that there are no cameras to capture the content what you're designing. In gaming terminology, we call, we'll be rendering the content. We'll be rendering the 3D content actually. Okay. So it is telling that there are no cameras to render the content. The camera is very, very important part when you're developing game. So now I have a camera here, but the content what I have objects that are not in the scope of the camera. So now how to do that one? Now let me see where are these objects. There are some far away from my camera actually. Okay, where is my camera? My camera is here. You can see my camera is here. My objects are here. Let me drag. Let me try here. Let me pull. Can I do something? Yeah, I can see something here, right? Let me put it back here. Okay. Oh, it's very painful to move objects like this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can see forward. So yeah, finally they are in the scope of the camera actually. This is my camera view. Okay guys, this is my camera view and my objects are in front of my camera. This is my camera and my objects are, that's the reason I'm able to see my objects. Okay. Now you can able to see. So we have seen one window name is scene window, and this is my designing area, and this is my game output window. And the designing, what you are designing, their object names and their hierarchy can be seen in a window called hierarchy window. In a hierarchy window, default it will come up with a camera. This is called main camera, and you have something called light also. So you'll come up with a default light actually. We'll discuss regarding this light object. Just focus time being camera and your default objects. Okay guys. So because of camera only, you can able to see the objects. Even you can move your camera towards your object. You're just zooming in. Okay. But make sure you're designing something parallelly checking the game window. That is the point what I want to discuss here. Okay. Let's move to another window. So whatever object you have here, right? So now you can see, I'm telling that this is a cube, this is a sphere, this is a camera, and this is a direction light. Every object, see, this is every object. Here, every object here will have some properties like, uh, it is somewhere in this space. In this space, it is having its own position, okay, and it is having its own structure. Okay, it is having its own color, it's having its own textures, and it is having its own scale, and it's having its own position, and it have many properties actually. The where I can see like these properties in which window will help me to see these all properties actually. So the next window what we are going to see is called inspector. Okay, inspector window. Let me drag this outside. No, here. Okay, inspector actually. You can see in inspector and hierarchy. I have, so if I select that, the properties will be appear here. You can see I'm selecting sphere. You can see sphere here. Inspector cube. It will show cube related property. If selected main camera properties will be shown here. If selected direction light, you can see Like this, all the properties of individual object in the hierarchy or scene that can be seen inside inspector. Okay, guys. Now what I will do, I'll try to rename this. Like, no, this is my player. You can see after typing, just click on enter. So that will be overridden here. Here also it will be renamed and here also. And I'm telling that this object, you can see some properties, like these are some properties of this object actually. Okay, these are all properties. Okay, let's see our first topic. Today's topic is transform. Okay, guys, our first topic is transform. You can see every object will have certain properties. Okay, the properties will have some headings. Okay, we'll see some headings here. The first heading is transform. Okay, and it is having some cube mesh filter. This is one more component, and this I'm telling like it's having some properties, right? I'm telling it's having some headings. These headings are called as components. What are those called as? Components. So each object in Unity are built based on components. Okay, Unity is component based programming. So if you learn how many components, like if you learn more components, you'll have more grip on this on Unity actually. Okay, you have to focus on learning components actually. So today we are going to learn a component called transform component. Which component? The transform component. So let's see what are other default components are available here. This is anyway we are going to discuss. Our component name is transform component, and we have something called cube mesh filter, mesh renderer, box collider. So these are the four components. Okay, default for every object, it will come up with these four components. Okay, let's see. We'll discuss the first component here. So before discussing that, let me drag this, put it here back, or let me click on my layout. Okay, so before moving to discuss about this transform component, I'm left with two more windows. That is one is project window. This is my project window. Okay, this project window is nothing but my hard disk, like this is my hard disk, like where I'll put all my files. So for this specific project, what files means what, like I have 3D models, I have audio files, I have scripts, I have textures, so I have many levels. So these all things will be saved inside project window. You can see inside the project window right now. You can see the two headings. One is assets and packages. These packages are supported packages, like what Unity, like whatever package like we are using, like anything like AI system, UI system, audio system. Those everything will have its own packages actually. Those packages will be added automatically inside this package actually. Okay, we cannot edit here this one. The only thing we can see is assets. Inside assets, I have one folder name is called scenes. Inside that, I have one default scene called sample scene. You have seen this name somewhere, right? Sample scene, where on the top you can see first project sample scene. So that name is nothing but sample scene. And parallelly, you can focus on this here. There's the icon, Unity icon to this name actually. So let me do one thing. I want to create another level. How to create a new level here? Let's go to File, New Scene. Okay. What I will do? Okay, it is giving some options here. Let's simply create. Okay, I've created right now. I create a new scene. I'm creating a new level. You can consider as a level. Okay. Now on the top, you can see again first project and untitled. Untitled means what? This scene, you have not named this scene actually. You have not named this level. So what you need to do first, make sure save level. So it will navigate to a scene window and give this is my first level. Now we can see first level. In the first level, this is my new level actually. The objects what you have created in the previous level that won't shown here actually. Getting guys, you can't see here. Okay, this is my new level. You can create a new object and create a new design. If you want to go back to your old level, just click on sample, double click on this, it will open here. If you want to come back to this level, first level, this is my sample level. Okay, so this is how you'll create levels, and you can see the related levels related content inside project window. I hope you got some idea regarding Unity editor, different windows like sample, scene, game window, inspector, hierarchy, and project window. Okay, the last window what we are going to see, that is nothing but console window. We have a very important window, this console window. Suppose you are getting some errors while writing script, right? You can see some bugs, and if you are printing some content onto the console, if you want to printing some messages, that can be seen inside a console window. This is very important. These are the windows you need to remember, and we are going to use every window. You getting, guys? We are going to use every window. We can't skip anything. You should know everything, and you have to, we will use anyway this all stuff. Let me save layout. Yeah, all right, because I need this console window. This is very important. Okay, so these are some of the windows what I wanted to show you. Like, this is the toolbar, hierarchy window, scene window, inspector, project window. Like I explained, like assets, nothing but we will be adding all your textures, materials, scripts, audio files, everything in the project window. The way scene window is nothing but your designing area. Hierarchy is nothing but all whatever scene window contains, same thing will be here. The naming and arrange them. Inspector talks about the properties of each and every objects. Unity editor on the top, you have a tool like toolbar where you have some tools. I'll discuss about these tools 1 second. So these are some formats of objects what you can import into your project. Audio files, font files, PSD files, Maya files, whatever design 3D models, objects. So let's move to this primitive and placeholder objects. And parallelly, we'll discuss about the toolbar actually. Okay. So now, so what I'm trying to do here is, I'm just deleting these objects, and this is my sample scene. Or let me go back to my first level. This is my first level. Okay, guys, this is my first level. So now you need to focus how to move inside this actually. Okay. So you need to focus on this part actually. So you'll have options like translate, rotate, scale. These are the tools you need to know to design actually. So let's see this one actually, transfer, rotate, and parallelly I'm using it here. There is a okay. EW. This is switching to tools actually. If you click on W, it will switch to translate. If you click on E, it will rotate. R means scale. Okay, and I'm using keys WASD keys to move inside the 3D space actually. So let me add one object like primitive objects. What do you mean by primitive objects actually? Primitive means like if you take any programming Java, C, C++, we'll come up with default data types. Yes or no? Like integer, byte, float, string. Like we generally call these as primitive data types, like a primitive. Okay, so like that, Unity is having its own primitive objects. Okay, like just now I showed you the Q sphere. Okay, from where I can get them? Just simply right click on the hierarchy. Inside hierarchy, just right click here, hierarchy window, not in the scene window, not in the game window actually. Okay, right click in the hierarchy, and if you see there's something called 3D objects. Okay, just pick any object, I'm just picking like a cube object. Okay, just added a 3D object here. So now what I'm learning here is how to see this object in 360 degree. Like I want to see that object in all direction actually, how to move inside the space. So the first thing is I'm using a WASD keys here. First thing, right click here, hold and right, this is like, panning actually. If I click on the middle mouse click, if I click on right click, hold it and use W key to move forward and parallelly move. It's nothing but the people who play first person game, like 3D game, they it's same keys I'm using here. WASD keys actually. WSAD. If you want to go left, click on A. If you go right, click on D. If you want to go forward, click on W S. Okay, guys. So now I'm using mouse and keys to move in this space. Now what I will do, I'll go here. See, I'm seeing this object in all directions. So parallelly, you need to move your mouse also. If you're moving only mouse, it will happen like this. If you parallelly, you need to use keys also. I'm using A actually, see, to rotate like this. I'm going left actually. Parallel, I'm going right, back, forward. The W is the keys I'm using here. Okay, guys. Now I'll select this object. So now what I will do, when I'm selecting that object, you can see some color lines here, green, red, these are called gizmos actually, okay? So right now it is showing in a sharp edges, it is having some sharp edges. So if you look back our presentation, if you see, this is called translate. This is called translate. That means you can move that object actually. You can move that object by dragging any one arrow. If I'm clicking, dragging this blue color, it will move in this direction. It's like dragging this one, it will move in this direction. See. Okay, if you want to know what is this blue color indicates, what is green color, which axis it is, you can see in the same scene in the top right, you can see it is already some names. You can see x-axis, red color is called x-axis, blue color is called z-axis, and y is called y-axis. Sorry, green color is called y-axis. Okay, so right now it is in translate. Translate means you can transform the object, you can move that object actually. Okay, if you see rotate, R means rotate. E, if you click on E, it will go to, or you can click directly here, or you have a shortcut E or R. WER. W means transform, rotate, and this is called scaling actually. I'm in rotation mode actually. Okay, or you can directly click here, or you can use shortcut keys. WER. Okay, so right now I'm in rotation. You can rotate this object actually. If I move to transform, scaling, I can scale this object. Simple. I can move also. So now what I will do, simply I will click, let me remove this one. I'll add, now what I will do, I'll add an object here. I'm picking a plane actually. Plane is nothing but I'm consider this thing as a ground actually. Okay. So you see on the top, there is a name called game object. If you see on the top, file edit access game object. Okay. So Unity, what you need to remember is Unity, first of all, it is a component-based programming. And now we have, we need to remember one more thing is that I'm telling you, these are some objects, right? These are some objects like, 3D, like cube, sphere. We have some objects here. Okay. So first thing you need to remember, Unity is component-based programming, and in Unity, every object, first thing, it is a game object. What it is? It is a game object. It's very, very important. It is a game object actually. It's not an object. It is a game object. And game object, it's a, you can consider it as a superclass. Okay? It's a superclass object actually. Okay, you need to remember everything in Unity. If you want to do something, you want to code something, you want to get some references, we'll focus more on the game objects. We'll create a variable called game object, we'll assign it, and we'll get the properties. So sub properties will be available based on the parent class actually. So game object, you can consider it is a very important, like it is a parent class actually. Okay, so everything is a game object. Now this is plane is a game object, sphere is a game object, my cube is a game object, my camera is a game object, my direction light is a game object. Everything, whatever you see, an audio is a game object, particle effects are game objects, everything, whatever you're able to see or listen, anything, the first thing, it is a game object. Then it became, by adding the components, it became something else actually. Like I'll give an example. So what I will do, let me remove this, my camera. Let's select it, delete it. I just removed my camera. I don't have camera in my level actually. So what I will do, just right click, create empty. You can see create empty. Create empty is, if you click on that, you can see it already default name, it is giving game object. So I'll rename, or you can select it, you can rename on the inspector saying that this is my camera. Okay guys, and if you see the components, it will come up with a default component is called transform. So it don't have any other components actually. It's having only one component that is called transform component. Okay. So now this is my camera. I'm telling that this is my camera. I'm creating my own camera actually. Okay. So further, you need to add components. Okay. So first, what I did, if you see, it is a default component for every game object is transform component. Okay. Default component for every game object is transform component. Now I want to make this empty game. This is my empty game object. It don't have any structure. It don't have any shape. Okay. So I want to make a camera actually. So what I will do, I'll add a component here. Click on add component, camera. Just simply type camera. So you can see the camera component. These are all defined actually. Unity is giving us. Okay. I'm selecting this. Now you can see something is appeared in the game. You can see now this empty game object became a game object, became now camera. Now it is a camera actually. Okay. So initially it is a game object. Now it is camera actually by adding a component called main camera. Okay. So now you can see it is looking some other direction actually. If I'm pulling back, you can see, I can see my level. Okay. You can bring down, you can put it here in whichever direction you want. Even you can rotate your camera. Okay. You can see whatever direction if you want. You can rotate in whatever direction if you want. Okay guys. So I have created my own camera based on by creating a empty game object, and I'm adding a component. Based on the component, it became a camera. So like that, you can create your own characters. Like if you have a 3D models, if you have anything, you can create your own things as well. Okay. So everything in Unity, every object is nothing but a game object. Okay. By adding components, based on component, it will create its own shape actually. So this is my main camera, and I'm unable to see. I'm facing some issue. I'm unable to move. I'm unable to place them in a proper direction actually. So how to do this one? Like this messy actually. I'm unable to rotate properly. To see these objects. There are some ways, but especially this is all about the direction, in which direction you want to see that your level. Okay, for that you can simply in the scene window just select which direction, which angle if you are comfortable with. If you think this is okay, in this angle, if this is okay, then simply click here and select your camera, go to game object, align with view. Go to game object, align with view. So that angle will be fixed here. You can see in the game window. If you don't want this, if you think this is good, for top direction, you want to make something top-down game. If you think this is looking good, go to game, select, make sure the select camera, go to game object, align with view. Now see, this is my output. Make sure the output is also visible. Don't focus only on the designing area. Make sure the output is also visible. Okay. So now I have a task for you guys, like, create a plane and add objects onto that. add objects onto that. Add objects onto that. First task is add 4 cubes on 4 corners on this plane. Okay. And one more thing, you can select this object and right click. You can create a duplicate out of this. Okay. Or select it. You can click Control D for shortcut. Guys, everybody do this one. Create a plane and add 4 cubes on 4 corners. It should be added accurately. See, I have some space in the ground actually. It should not be like this. I'll tell you the shortcut how to do that one. It won't snap properly. Don't worry. But try first, then I will help you. See, all these objects are not properly actually. You can select multiple objects at a time by pressing Control. You can select them and you can move them. So everybody, first thing, create a new project. Go to open your Unity hub, create your new project, and add a plane by clicking right click in the hierarchy. You can see 3D objects. You can see plane. You can click on the plane. This is your ground, and add cubes on the 4 corners. Please let me know if you guys done this one. If anybody is facing any issues, please you can message me in the chat. See guys, if you are doing parallelly with me, then only you will feel comfortable. If you're not practicing parallelly, you'll face problems later actually. You can learn certain things. You can start making your own games once you are done with these 2 sessions. Seriously, I'm really. You can create your own games. Create plane, right click in the hierarchy, 3D objects, plane, and you can add cubes on 4 corners. That is a requirement. This is nothing but level designing actually. You should know how to design your own level. Let me know if you're facing any issues. You can message me. I'll help you. Okay. So here, so when you are moving this object, let's see, if you want to add properly in the left corner and right corner, it's very hard to move and add them actually. So here we have a shortcut actually. We have a technique to move this one. So hold V, click on V, alphabet V. Okay, if you click on alphabet V, you can see something is happening in this window actually. Click on alphabet V. Okay, then move your cursor. Don't click, just move your cursor. It will snapping all the corners actually. These are vertexes. This cube is having around 8 vertexes. Okay, guys, this cube is having around 8 vertexes. You click on V. Okay, click on V, it will snap. You can see, it will just move your cursor. If you want this corner need to be added to this corner. Okay, that is nothing but vertex actually. I'm clicking on V, alphabet V. Okay, and then I'm just clicking on the, now I'm just clicking here. If you want to click here, you can click here. I'm just clicking here, I'm just click and drag. So what will happen? The bottom ground is also having some vertexes. So it will snap to that vertex. This vertex will be snapping to other vertexes. So I'm just dragging this. The last vertex is on the corner to this. See, it will snap exactly. See. Let me do in another way. Let me snap the top one. See how it is snapping. See. So I'm using a keyboard key alphabet V. Okay, just I'm moving my cursor, I'm not clicking. If you think something need to be snapped, just click and drag. It will snap. Like this I will do for all objects. Suppose if you are facing any problem, like you are unable to move your objects, uh, let me do something, Control Z. Let me go back to my default camera. And go back by clicking on Control Z. You can do undo actually. I don't want this camera. I want my default camera actually. This was my default camera. Okay, and I hope I didn't move this one. Yeah, this is my default camera. So here what happens when you're creating any objects, you face a lot of problem, moving that object actually. I'll tell you a technique here. So I just right click, I created a 3D plane here, right? Okay. So now this is not appear properly in front of my camera. My camera is somewhere here. I'm thinking like, now what you need to do when you're designing levels is very, very important as a level designer, or if you're making your own game, should not face problems while designing your level actually. The first thing, the property what I said, the component, transform component in the inspector, you have 3 properties: position, rotation. Let me drag this here. So this transform component will have 3 properties: position, rotation, scale. Okay. Each component in the inspector will have some certain tools actually to work with them. You can directly edit them, like this is my exposition. You can directly edit them. You can add some values here, or you can move to show you something like this. You can drag the value. Okay, even the position also. You can do inside inspector, or you can do here also. But let me explain to you what is the advantage of doing here actually, and what are the advantages. Okay, in this transform, this is my transform component. This component have some properties called position, rotation, scale. Okay, position nothing but this where it is, and rotation is nothing but in which angle it is seeing, and scaling nothing but in which how much scale, like how much big it is. Okay, guys, you can see all the properties they have got changed actually here. You can see, and in this transform on this heading, you can see the right hand side there is a three dots here. If you click on this, you'll have some option called reset. If you click on this reset, it will reset to position 0, 0, 0, 0. Rotation will be 0, 0, 0, and scale will be 1, 1, 1. Okay. Then now, this is a default values for this object. So when you're doing level design, whatever it is, if you're doing anything, first make sure, it's very important, first make sure it should be a default position. This is my default position. Okay. And from here, you need to move that object. That is very, very important. Okay. First, make it a default values, make it scale 1, 1, 1, make it rotation should be 0, 0, 0, and the position should be 0, 0, 0. This can be achieved by clicking on these three dots. You're messing up, it appeared somewhere here, you can't see that object, you can't get that object in front of the camera. Don't worry. Just first thing, click on this, click on the related object, come to transform component, and there are three dots here. Click on this and reset it. So it will come to 0, 0, 0 position. Okay. And the default camera is also sometimes, if you have, it is also creating a problem for you. That's what you need to do means select your main camera, and in the main camera the default properties will be something like this. Position will be 0, 1, -10, and remaining will be 0, 0, and 1, 1. Okay. If something goes wrong and you messed up, you moved it and you are unable to get that object, camera in front of the object or objects in front of the camera, so don't worry, just come select that object, come to transform component, click on these three dots, reset. It come to 0, 0, 0. So now my object and my camera are at the same position. So both are at same position. I can't see the content, right? The camera should be at certain distance where it should able to render the content actually. So now what you need to do, simply drag this X, the Z, the blue color axis a little bit back. Okay. And move little bit up. Now you can see the content here. Getting? Simple, right? So this is how you need to set up your camera, and if you're messing up with your object somewhere, just select that object. Oh, I just remove this window, right? My layout. Okay. Here, this is my plane, and just simply click reset it. Okay. So now this is at 0, 0 position, 0, 0, 0 position. Rotation will be 0 and scaling will be 0. From here, whatever you want to do, do it. The same way, now I can see my platform clearly. You can see my platform, my base, okay, my ground. So now what I will do, I'll just right click and now I'll start creating my cubes. Don't worry, just create 4 cubes, and you can rename them like, this is 1 and this is 2. Naming should be very, very important, guys. And this is my 4. Okay, I have 4 cubes and select them all. Okay, now go to transform component, click on these 3 dots, reset. So everything is at 0, 0, 0 position. See, everything at 0, 0 position. Because of the pivot of this transform is in the middle of that object. That's the reason it's showing half of the object on the bottom and half the object in the ground. Simply, no issues there. Drag a little bit up, back. And from here, whatever you want to do, just do it. Snap. So now what I did, I want to see the 4th object. Okay, I just select that object, click on F, then the focus will be gone to that object actually. Or you can double click on this directly, it will, the focus will be changed actually. Okay. So now I'm clicking on alphabet V for snapping. It got snapped properly. Yes. So guys, I can see my level clearly in the game output window as well. And here So whatever you're able to see the scene window is also important, but parallelly you need to check your output window. This is my output window actually. At the end, my output is important. How I'm able to see my this one. Uh, it's all about camera, I guess. Yeah, no problem. Let me know if anybody is facing doing this task. The task is create a plane and add 4 objects at 4 corners accurately. This is my scene window and this is my output window. Because of camera, it's happening. And make sure if you see we are doing many things actually. I'm adding objects, I'm moving them, so many things are happening. At the same time, you have to focus in the hierarchy. If you see the level name is first level, and you can see the asterisk symbol here. That means this scene is not saved actually. You keep on doing changes actually. So you should have habit of saving that. Every time click on Control S or go to File, Save. Make sure saving the level is very, very important. Sometimes what happens, because some power issues or something goes wrong, the level will not be saved. Whatever modifications you have done so far, that will be gone. That's it. If you're saving, it will be there. Okay, make sure saving your level. So we have seen different windows in the Unity, in Unity editor, we have scene window, game window, hierarchy, project, inspector, and console windows. And we have seen how to add objects, 3D game objects into this and how to place them. We have seen some tools like transform tools, rotation tools, scaling tools. These are the basic tools what we use regularly. Okay, rotation, transform. Okay, this is a hand symbol simply spanning, and this can be controlled by using QWER. QWER actually. Okay. Any issues you guys are facing, please let me know. Please ping me so that I'll understand where we are actually. Okay. If you guys are comfortable with the existing whatever I discussed, so can I move to next step, guys? Guys, you can message me, ping me, or you can. Okay, cool. Thank you. So now what we'll do, we have seen some basic fundamentals the transform related properties in the inspector, you can reset, you can move, transform, position, rotation, scale, these properties. Presentation. I want to start with scripting actually. Okay. So we'll see how to create scripts and how the script will be communicated with this 3D object, how the things will happen actually. This is my 3D object. How this object I can do communication with scripting actually. How can I control it? No, we'll see that part. So now what I will do in my project window, this is very important guys, in project window. Now what I will do, I'll create a separate folder here. Just right click on the assets, create folder. I'll name it like these are my scripts. Okay, I'm just arranging them properly actually. Okay, I created a folder and right click on the folder, create. If you go for create, you can create folder and you can create many other things. So now our requirement is creating a script actually. So I'm creating a C# script. So Unity previously it was supporting some Boost script and JavaScript and C#. There were three initially. But then later, they removed many things and finally they fixed. Now we have only one option that is called C#. Okay. So now let me click on this. When you click on this, now it will ask you file name. You can see no behavior script. It will give a default name. It will ask you file name actually. What is this file name? This file name is nothing but your class name. Class, what is class? you know objects class, right? The people who know Java, C, anywhere, whichever programming, if you take, you have a class variable, right? The class name and your file name both are same, and it should be same. Otherwise, it won't compile. You will face issues, errors. Hey guys, and make sure naming the variables. We have some fundamentals. When you're naming a variable, you can use capital letters, small letters. You can use underscore, and there are some restrictions. You can't use numbers. You can't use some special symbols. You guys have some idea, I guess. So like that, if you're giving a name here, make sure there should not be space first of all. Okay, and there should not be any special characters, and it should not be start with the numbers. So naming the variables, actually nothing but naming the variables like class name, data type names, function names, they have some rules and regulations actually. So make sure there should not be any numbers and special characters and space. So first, what I will do, this is my player, the simply player, and don't give any extensions not required here. It will take directly, and just click on enter. And now my script name is player. So now how to open this file? Now if you click on this, you can see some properties inside the inspector actually. It is showing what this file contains. It is showing, see, it is showing clearly, it is showing what this file contains. It is having some script here. So now how to open this file now? This is important. How to open? Just double click on this. So it will open in the Visual Studio. Okay, it will open the Visual Studio. It will open here in this window actually. So now your file is opened here. So these are the default some import settings I can see here. Let me close this window. So now you can see this is my class name, it's player, and the same time on the top left you can see player.cs file. The file name and class name should be same. It is must actually. If you're missing something, definitely it won't compile, it won't show sometimes in your project. Okay, to make sure. And one more thing, after creating file, don't rename it. Sometimes even that will create a problem actually. Okay, when you're creating, only make sure that you create properly, otherwise remove that file and create a new file. This is my suggestion. Okay, so now my class name is player, and you can see there are some import settings. In Java we use import, in C# we'll use using actually. Okay, in Java we'll use import, in C# we'll use using, and this is my class name. And if you guys know object oriented programming, and in Java we'll have something called here keyword, don't remember actually, advanced something like keyword we use for inheriting the components. In C# we use colon to inheriting. This is my parent class. I'm just inheriting some properties into my subclass actually. So some base class and derived class. So default functions, these are called functions here. You can see there are some default functions here. Okay, so like if you people have some idea regarding Android development, we have some life cycle functions, like it will give some life cycle functions where we'll use, where we need to write code, where there are some functions will have a specific task it will do actually. The same way in this Unity scripting. Okay, in Unity scripting we have some life cycle functions. You can see default it will come up with the two functions. One is start function and another is called update function. Okay, you can write code here. So let me print some message onto the console actually. I want to print some message, if you go for a Unity, you have some system dot out dot println, C++, we have some other way. In Unity we have in Unity especially we use debug.log. Debug is a class and log is a function, and we'll write message inside this. So welcome to Unity. Okay, I'm just printing some message. I'm just saving this, and make sure you're writing a message, and you have some, I guess, for printing some messages, you won't write outside the function. Actually, we'll write inside the function. Even it is in a Java also, in the main class, main function, we'll write inside the function only. All will create our own functions, we'll write inside the function. So I'm trying to print some message onto the console actually. Fine, I have a file, I have a class, I have a message here, cool. But how to run that one? Okay, So now we'll see, this is very interesting actually. So how to run this project? We have not seen this one. How to run this project? So on the top, you can see there are 3 buttons here. Play button. You click on this. Now the engine will start. Now it's running your application. Now your game is running actually. Okay. Whenever it is turning to blue color, the button, that means this is in running mode actually. But I can't see any message in the console. I'm expecting some message in the console. Why? Because the file is there in your project, but that is not attached to the level what you are running actually. Which level you are running right now? I'm running a level called first level, but the file is somewhere in my project. That file is not in my level. How to add this file to my level? Here, like I said, like, every object will have some components, right? Like transform, mesh, cube mesh, mesh run, there are many components. Like, these are components. In the same way, in Unity, script is also called as component. Script is also called as component actually. The player script is also a component. Now what I will do, I just simply drag this component to any game object in my hierarchy, any game object. Let me click on main camera. Let me drag here. See, now see, you can see it added like a component actually. The script is nothing but a component, okay? Script is nothing but a component. Now, if you run your application, you can see some message here. See, welcome to Unity. You can see the message, right? Welcome to Unity here. The same way, if you're adding this object to multiple objects, adding this component, so now in my level, added to main camera, added to cube 1, cube 2, cube 3, cube 4. So 5 places this object got added. So that means this script will run for 5 times actually. The script will run for 5 times and 5 messages will be printed here. So make sure that the script will be added to a specific object. Depends actually. Okay. So how to remove this? Simply go here. If you don't want, just click on these 3 dots, remove component. Click on these 3 dots, remove component. So now it is having only for main camera. I'll remove component. Okay, guys. So now what I will do, I'll add to only one object, only for this cube. Okay, I'm running my application. Just let me clear my console. Now you can see you got only one message. You can see the count here. This is my messages. And suppose if you have done some mistake here, suppose I forgot to put a semicolon here, I'm saving my application. And anyway, it will show error here as well. And it will show error message in the console. You can see errors here. And it will show the place where it is getting an error. In the file name is called player.cs file, and the position is 10,38, and the error name is semicolon is expected. If you click on this error directly, it will navigate to that position actually. This is a beauty of this Unity actually. It will navigate to that position. You can just simply missing the whatever you are missing here, just add it and try to save your file. Then only it will update. So now it is getting compiled actually. It got compiled. See, now there are no errors. So we have written this message inside the start actually. Now if you remove this message and you're putting inside update, what will happen? What will happen? Yes, I'm saving this file. I'm writing the message in the update actually. Okay, guys. Now this is getting compiled. I'm saving my level. I'm running my application. Now you can see the message getting keep on printed. That means update is nothing but a loop. Okay. Update is nothing but a loop function. This is a loop function. This is loop. And start is nothing but you can consider it is like a constructor. It will run only once actually. Okay. Update is nothing but like while loop, for loop, like like loops. This is an infinite loop. So Unity is giving a default structure actually. It is giving one lifecycle functions where what you need to do. Okay. If you want to run some code for only once, you need to write inside start. If you want to run certain things inside you want a loop, it is already giving a default loop actually. You can use, you can create your own loops as well, like for loop, while you can use them as well. Okay. The update is a loop where you're writing this one. Okay. So now what I will do, I'll try to I'll start some communication between objects actually. Okay, guys. So now my requirement is I want to move this object in X direction. It has to move to this place. That is my requirement. Now I want to move this object. Okay. So let me reset first of all this one. Let me put in the 0, 0 position. Then only it will be easy to understand. Move everything a little bit down. Okay. Now you can see your object here. Delete this one. So now we have an object here. Now what I'm teaching here is how to communicate script with the objects. Okay. So now I have a object, and object is having already script is added to that. So now what I will do, the first thing, if you see, simple thing, like, if you look at this object, if I want to move, okay, what I'm doing here, I'm dragging this, right? Yes or no? I'm just dragging this. It is in the transform mode. I'm just dragging this in X direction, and it is moving. If you look at the transform property of this object, even I can do something here, right? I can move here, right? That means in through script, what I need to do, I should able to access this property, the position property, or I should able to update this property. That is what I need to do. Then it automatically it will move. Yes or no? So now how will they get that one? Like I said, Unity is component-based programming. That means you need to get a reference for this component, transform component. If you are able to get that one, the task is done actually. You need to get the reference for this component, and the component obviously will have a property called position. And you should know how to update these values. If you see, each position is having 3 values. You should know what data type this is. It is having some X, Y, Z values. What data type it is. At the end, you should know what data type it is, and which class it is, and which property it is. I need to access. If you know these 3 things, it is done actually. Now what I will do, simple, I'll try to get the reference. So here default, we have an class name called transform. In transform, I need to set the property called position. This is what I need to do. If you are able to update this position, your task is done actually. Getting guys? But what is this position? What data type this position is? That you need to understand actually. Transform.position. The position, if you're going to position, if you see the property is vector3. It is giving a property called vector3 actually. Okay. So now we are learning a new property called, what it is? Vector3. You can consider this as a data type. But vector3, if you type vector3 is a structure actually, structure type of data type. I'm just creating a variable here, vector3. I'm naming a new position. Okay, guys, this is my new position. Or you can assign how to see if it is a data type, like you can use all int some score equal to some 100, and something like float my health is also something like 100. You can create your own variables actually. In the same way, you are learning a new property called vector3 here. Okay, guys. Okay, but how to assign this? This is structure type. That is nothing but this is an object actually. You will be using a new keyword to assign that one. And we have a empty constructor, and we have a parameterized constructor. So we need some values. So what I'm doing, I want to move that object one position in X direction. That's the reason I'm adding only X value 1, 0, 0. That means X is one value, Y and Z values are zeros. Now this is my new vector variable I have created. Simple thing, what I need to do, I need to assign this property to this. That's it. Transform.position. Transform means this script is added to which object. That object is nothing but that object reference dot position of that object. You are updating with your own property, and you are writing this whatever logic you're writing inside start. That means this will run only once. I'm running this. Now you can go back here. Now we can simply see it is right now in 0, 0, 0 position, and make sure the script is added to this specific object, and just run your application. You can see the value will be updated here. It got 1. So to move to 1 position actually. Okay. If I'm doing same thing, If I'm doing same thing in update, there is nothing difference actually. Why? Sorry. Nothing difference is getting compiled actually. Got compiled for running this. Every time it will update 1000 only. 100 Okay. So now what I'll do a simple technique here. Instead of assigning here like this, okay, or you can directly cut it here. Rather than creating a global variable, you can create a local variable here. Instead of assigning value like this, simply create a integer variable, something like this. My position equal to 0 and take it a float variable. Declaring a float variable, simply what I will do, I'll just increment this less or equal to some fraction value, very less value, and I will assign this variable instead of the static value. I'm assigning a dynamic value. Every time it will be updated. As you guys know, already seen, this is a loop. Every time it will enter and it will increase this and it will update here. And based on this, you can guess what will be the output now. Compiling now. Just I'm trying to run my application now. So it's gone. Gone. It's running like anything. We'll add a less value. There it is. Okay, yes, now it is moving. Here you need to understand only one thing. If you want to do some changes, you need to know which component it is and which property you need to change. This is how you can communicate a 3D content through script. So at the end, you should know what component it is. So the task will be for you guys is it has to move some distance and it has to stop. So how you'll do? Please try. It has to move some distance and it has to stop. How you'll do that one? I guess it won't take much time, guys. You have a script here. Just I created one variable and I'm using a new data type which you have not seen so far. This is not vector 3 data type. And I'm updating that variable and parallelly I'm assigning to my position. The task is right now it is moving in x direction. After moving some phi distance or whatever it is, it has to stop. It has to move some distance and stop it. Guys, please do. Let me know if anybody's done. Please message me or message the script here. So I'll add and I'll show it to others. make sure to which object you are adding this. If you are adding script to camera, camera will move. If you are adding to direction light, it will move direction light as well. We are not telling that which object need to move. We are not writing any conditions actually. Okay, the script will run for any object. The object will be keep on moving in X direction. That's it. Getting, guys? Every object will have a transform component. It's a default component. Every object, every game object will have a transform component, and our script works on that. If it is having a transform component, obviously the script will be like, will run, will add its X position. It will keep on moving in X direction actually. Please let me know if anybody done the condition. It has to stop at certain distance. Please share the script so I can move to next step. Any suggestions? What I need to do? Simple. My requirement is, let me explain once again. The object has to move. It is at 0 position, right? It has to move to 5 position. That's it. When it is reaching to 5, it has to stop. That is my requirement. Anybody did, please? Okay. So let me do, guys, here. The simple thing. So where I'm updating the value here, right? Okay. Here I'm updating the value. Here I'm incrementing. So now I need to focus on this part. This variable is getting incremented, right? Just simple write a condition here, right? If my position should be less than 5. That's it. If it is less than 5, then only it will increment. Yes or no? Come back. Save your application, run. See. Go stop. Simple thing. So whatever programming, if you know, that's it. You know, to learn a new thing here is components. That's it. And some data types. Data types means what? Like vector. If you are playing with audio, you should know audio data types. If you want to play with video, video data types. If you want to play with textures, texture data type. Everything will have a data type. If you know the data type, is more than enough actually. Okay. So now, right now, it is moving automatically. Now I want to control it. I want to move myself actually. If I click on left arrow, it has to move to left direction. If I click on right arrow, it has to move to right direction. How to do that one now? So we'll see that one. See, if I click on some arrow inputs, like inputs based on your input that need to be activate, and it has to move. So now how you'll do that one? So maybe we have one class called let me show here. In scripting, we have different functions. We have seen only start and update. We'll discuss other functions later. So these are some of the operators you should know: arithmetic operators, assignment, conditional, ternary, like some operators, and you should know flow controls, if else, some conditions, and loops. In vector, we have 3 types of structures. Vector 2 means XY direction, vector 3 XYZ, and vector 4 we'll use for color property, like it will have RGB and even alpha value. And apart from this, you can see transform component, like these are the properties it will have. So this is our actual task, actually animating an object actually. So it has to animate, it has to go forward and come back. We can do that one here right away. What I will do here, my requirement is like, the object has to move forward and back, like, so like patrolling, actually you want to do the task in your game. If you want to create a enemy character, it has to move in one direction and come back to another direction, it is keep on moving in that direction. So how you will achieve that one actually? So for patrolling, there is nothing but patrolling, so we'll do that one. Simple. So it's all about logic, actually. So let me create a variable here, guys. It's about boolean variable. Sorry, bool direction. Okay, equal to true. So now what I will do, simply in if condition, or I'm just trying, guys. I'm just trying here. Direction is true. Direction equal true. Also, you can do something like this. The direction is true, it will move in positive direction or whatever it is. So, or this is not required actually. It's about depends upon you. Actually, you guys need to do this one. I'm trying this one. Someone suggest me what to do here. My requirement is the object has to move forward and come back. That is my requirement. I can able to control whenever it's reaching, 5 distance. So how you will achieve that condition? Like, so this part, it's keep on assigning value. I don't think so. This is required. We will put it outside. Uh, we'll add a direction variable here, I guess. That is more suggestible. Float direction equal to 1. Simply multiply with the direction value. If it is positive, it will move in the positive direction. If it is negative, it will move in the negative direction. What I'm thinking like that. Okay. So based on the condition, if my position is there, like, this increment part. Try this one, guys. So we'll move that object, front back, by using property direction property. If we're able to do this script, we'll do using animation actually. Okay. This you guys need to do this task actually. And we are moving to input actually. In input, we have a class called input class where we can get all the keyboard inputs, mouse inputs, joystick inputs, and except touch. Except touch, you can get everything through a class called input class actually. So now we'll see how to get a simply type input dot, and from there you can get it. Okay. So now what I will do here, I'm increasing here, right? This part. So simply instead of this condition, what I will do, if input class dot get key down, I'm pressing some key down, and here inside this I have to pass an argument for this function key code. There's something called KeyCode.left arrow. You can see left arrow. So whenever pressing left arrow, this if condition will be true and it will be get incremented. The left means what? Minus, right? It will be minus. The same way, is about right arrow. Left arrow, it will come right arrow. Okay. and make it positive. Based on this, variable will be updated, and based on that, the object will be keep on moving. Okay, this is get down. Let's see what happens. So now I'm using keys actually. If I click on arrow keys, it has to move. It's moving very less, I guess. Let me see what is happening here. What is the problem, guys? Can I guess? My position. I think this might creating a problem. Let me remove this one. The problem is we are assigning actually. We have to move it actually. Okay, we can't do that. So here I guess. The value got incremented. If we increase the speed, then based on that it will move. So I'm clicking left arrow, right arrow. So you need some speed here. Simple. What you need to do here is speed. Simply don't assign anything. And if you're making a, now if you see here, which object is got added here? Here, right? You can't see anything here, any properties here. Now what I will do, I want some property there. So I will create a public variable here. Creating a public variable, the property will be seen here. You can see speed variable here. So now what I will do, I'll simply multiply speed with my position into speed. Okay. And speed is float value. So yes, I'll increase little bit and I'll try to move left arrow. Increase speed. Gone actually. So what I'm doing here, just I'm adding a position. Okay. I'm increasing my speed. I'm adding the position. So based on that, it will be adding actually. Something is wrong actually here. No problem. So here, what I'm doing, when I'm clicking left arrow, I'm incrementing one variable in the position, and I'm adding that variable. I'm making use of this property. I'm creating a vector, and I'm adding that position to the this one. Let's call this one vector actually. Let's see. So right now my speed variable is very less. Let me increase that one. I'll use my what exactly happening here. Keep on updating. Left arrow, increment my position. Okay. The problem is where every time we're creating a new variable actually. That is the problem. Make sure it should be a global variable. Okay. These are the bugs when you do, will face this kind of issues actually. Simply I'm increasing speed. I'm using left arrow to move this object. Someone tell me what is the issue here. I'm having a position, I'm just multiplying that with this, I'm adding that position to this. I'm incrementing my position value here. Okay guys, try this one, let me know what is the issue here. Just paste and let me know. Someone try and let me know what is the issue here. Let me know what is the issue here. Okay, so these are about the keyboard inputs. We'll use keyboard inputs like this, and we have other things in keyboards, like if you are using joystick, we have other inputs for joystick, like by getting the horizontal vertical value, where based on that we will be moving the object. We have some examples here. You can use this example to move an object in all directions as well. Okay, so where I can map these values, actually, if you look at in the hell window, we have something called in file build settings. Okay, we have file build settings, project settings. Here we have input manager. Actually, in input manager we have access. If you are playing with joystick, how will control. If you are playing with, like in gaming industry, we have, see, if you're playing in a game, if you're playing in mobile, we'll use touch. If you're playing in PC, we'll have keys and mouse, and if you're playing with VR, we have again other joysticks will have. So how will map all the, if you're playing with PC game, and if you're playing in VR, how will map these keys, like if you're pressing left arrow, if you're pressing same related button in the VR, how will map this all stuff. So we have an input manager where we can achieve this requirement, actually. So in input, we have every key, we have some name, actually. Okay, and it will have some directions, left direction, right direction. It has some sensitivity, and you can see the type, mouse or button, axis, which axis it is, and it will work for all joysticks. You can see this key name, if you're using this key, this value, and this can be used for PC games as well as you can use for joystick as well. So based on this, I have an example here. You can check this one. So get axis, see this class dual axis example, you can see uh, what exactly happening here. Translate, rotate, many things are happening here. If you look back this script, what is happening here, I'm getting the horizontal vertical value, position. Okay, this is something interesting. Let's try this one, guys. Let me copy this update function. From where I'm getting this actual name, don't get confused. I'm using these names of these keys. Actually, I've created a horizontal key, a vertical. There are many other fire. If I'm clicking space button, or if I'm clicking mouse left click or right click, it will shoot. So we have some predefined names you can create inside input manager, actually. Okay. So now what I will do, simply I'll try to copy and paste this code here. Okay. I don't want this GUI text to create an issue. Okay. It is in update. I'm getting a horizontal and vertical value. What is the horizontal and vertical value? This can be a left and right arrow, and it can be alphabets, and it can be joystick thumbs as well. What I'm doing here, I'm getting this value. When I'm clicking on this, I'm getting some value. I'm multiplying that value with my range. Range is nothing but speed. You can consider speed, and whatever x and y position calculating, and just simply same story again, creating a vector and assign to the position. Let's see what happens here. Again, you need to remember here, you need to add a range value, speed here, otherwise it won't work. I'm using left and right arrow. going up and down, left and right arrow, forward, back, down, forward, down, right, left. I'm using WASD keys here. I am even can test with the left and right arrows. How this getting mapping actually? How it is taking like left, right, Even I'm using keys, it is working. Left and right arrows. If even I'm using WASD, it is working. How this is happening? Simple. Here, first thing I said edit project settings. We have input manager. So you will create our own keys. You can create your own mapping keys here. So I'm using a key called horizontal. What is horizontal? Left arrow, right arrow, alphabet A, alphabet B. So here we'll be mapping this all content actually. Okay. If you look at the script, the same thing you can see here. What I'm doing here, horizontal I'm using. Horizontal nothing but X position, right? So if I'm clicking on alphabet A or D or left and right arrow, the same way, if I go for vertical, down arrow, up arrow, S key and W key. And there is one issue you can see. What is the issue you can find here? If I'm moving in one direction, but it's coming back to 0, how to achieve that one? Suppose if I'm moving, actually my speed is 0 here. Let me increase my speed. If I'm moving, it's coming back. Can someone tell me what is the error here? I'll share this code as well. Nothing. Please tell me what is the error here. So we have seen inputs like Input.GetAxis. We have seen Input.Keyboard inputs. In the same way, it's simple like Input.Get mouse button inputs you can get, and the keys, even mouse button down or up state. Every key has 3 states here. Again in mouse button, 0 means it is left click, and 1 means right click, and 2 means it is middle scroll click actually. Okay guys, these are the input functionalities you can use to move. You can use your keyboard or mouse inputs to run your code. And let's see some interesting stuff here. Let's play with some materials here. Now so far my ground is white and everything is white here. How to add textures and colors to these objects, and who's responsible for that, and which component is responsible for that. Let me do one thing. I'll create a folder here for my materials, and those are comes under category called materials. Okay, I'm creating a folder called materials and create a material. Right click, create, like how you are creating a script. In the same way, create material. Okay, and this is my ground. And ground, if you're clicking on this material, it will show some properties, like every material is having its own property. Now you can see there's something called albedo. I'm just adding some color here for this object, and just I'm dragging that object onto this object. I didn't release actually, just I'm checking where I want to add this one. So like this, you can create your own materials. Create material, right click, create. In the project I'm doing, the project, right click, create material. And this is my player. Okay, I'm adding some color to this. Drag that object onto the whichever object you want. This is how you can create your own materials, and this is only color based right now. So if you want to add some textures to that object, I have some. Let me show you some interesting thing as well, like by adding these textures. I'm adding a textures to. I'm just dragging some images to here. I just drag 2 images here. So what I will do is just drag. I will drag this image onto this object. You can see. So I have, this is my certificate actually. In Unity we have certifications. I did the certificate. This is the first level certifications what Unity is provided previously, and it got renamed with another name. was previously Unity certified developer, and right now they named it another thing that is called associate. You can drag another image here. So now it is got renamed as Unity certified associate. Okay. In Unity, you can do your own certifications as well. You have developer certifications, you have artist level, you have advanced, we have advanced core developer, core designer. We have many levels of certification. Even for school level certifications also we have. Okay. So what I did, I simply added a texture to this Excel. These are called textures Excel. I simply added texture to this. Okay. For this texture, where it is getting added is very important. Texture is added to a material actually. Okay. If you see, two more materials got created. Why? Because I simply drag these images onto this object. That is a problem actually. So what I will do, I simply delete these materials. I'll go back. I'll drag this ground texture to this and player texture to this. And for this texture, I'll try to add texture. You can simply drag your image onto this property called albedo. So albedo is a property in material where you can add your own texture, and it is having a color property as well. You can add a color. The same way for player also, I'll try to add another image to the albedo property. Okay, and it is having another color here. You can see. So this is how you can create your own materials, and you can assign your own textures here, and you can drag that materials onto the game objects. Okay, guys. So now, final thing what I want to discuss here is whatever code I have shared, right? Just look into that and try to range is undefined. It's telling that, yeah, range is undefined. Someone messaged me, range is undefined, guys. Fine. I'll show you here when I'm running my application. See, range is undefined, right? If I clicking on this play button, the range is 0. If I'm increasing, this is my range. And if I'm using keys, it is coming back even. See, I'm assigning range value here, 24. You can see in the inspector. But still it's not working. I want you guys to solve this issue, and I am giving one more task. We'll see you guys in the evening. But before that, I'm giving two tasks. One task is the object has to move. This code need to be run. Let me know what is the issue here, and you need to design one door actually. You need to design one door. I'll tell you what type of door it is. Let me create a 3D plane. Reset. Create a 3D object. I want you guys to design a door. Okay. Let me add some material to this. Okay. Whatever door it is, doesn't matter, single door or double door, not slider. Okay. My requirement is, so this is my door. Okay. Let me add some more cube here. Let me reset here. Need a material to differentiate false. So whenever if I rotate this door, if I rotate this door, the door should not be rotated in the middle. It has rotate in the from this direction actually. So how you will achieve that one? Right now it is rotating in the middle, right? Should not rotate like that. How door will rotate, guys? Any from left side or right side direction, right? Right now, this pivot point is different. Let me try to do something here. Global. Create a door, okay? Oh, single door or double door, whatever it is. Let's work on double door rather than single door. Then you'll understand the requirement actually. Work on double door. When you rotate, it has to rotate like this, not like this. I'll show you right away. 1 second. One second, guys. Okay. So guys, my requirement is, you need to rotate an object and that need to rotate something like this. The road need to frequent something like this. Okay, guys. So how you will achieve that one? When you're rotating, it has to rotate something like this. Okay. So create a two-door application like, we'll see. So now if you're working on this, I'll explain you how to do through animation actually. Right now, if you are able to create a proper rotation, then we'll work on animation. Okay. The evening section, what we'll do means when you are moving an object, we already seen to move an object actually. There is one bug actually that you guys can solve. Otherwise, I'll explain you in the evening. We'll learn like how to move an object in the space. Okay. So we have a player script, right? Let me add a player script here. Okay. And let me check. Player script is not added to any other object. Fine. So when you're running this application, so it is already to 0, 0 position as bad. Okay, fine, no problem. So what I will do, we'll move an object. So we'll move an object. So whenever the object is reaching to this position, whatever design we have done here, right? It is resetting to 0 actually, that's the problem. This previous one. So what I will do, we'll try to move an object whenever the object is reaching to this door and the door has to open. That is our task we'll do in the evening section. So before that, you should know the door has to open in a proper way. So how you will achieve that one? So first, if you achieve that one, then I'll explain you how to animate that one. I can do animation on that. So if you're able to do how to rotate this properly, okay, like I said, like this, it has to rotate. Find and let me know how to do this one. And after creating this door, will discuss in the evening about collisions. Whenever it is reaching to this door, okay, that door we'll find the collisions. We'll discuss about collisions. Then we'll work on the animation. I'll tell how to run the animation there actually. Okay. So we'll create an animation for door opening and closing animation. So before that, you should know how to work on pivots actually. This object is having a pivot somewhere here actually. How can I move at a pivot position? It is somewhere in the middle actually. I need the pivot position something like this. You can see the pivot position is something like this. How can I achieve that one? Okay. If you know how to move and how to add a pivot position to object in a proper place, then you can achieve this kind of requirements. We'll have a lot of requirements like this. Okay. So how to achieve this one? Okay. This I'm using, see, I'm not using any designed objects, make. I'm telling you guys, I'm using a default objects. I'm teaching you guys. Okay. So, but when you're going for production, you know to how you know to guide the designers, you know what kind of pivot position you required, where you required, you can guide them. But you should know right before that. So try this issue, how to solve this one. How can I rotate from any one direction? Okay, and how can I see you have some issues with the code as well, and try to check how to achieve what is the issue here, why it is not moving in expected way. Okay, so what is the issue in this code? Try this as well and try the door one. When you are done with this, we'll see in the evening section about animation, we'll see the collisions, and we'll see rest of the part. I hope any queries, guys? I'm not seeing here. Any queries? Work on this code, guys. Like I said, we'll see in the evening session about animation, we'll see about the collisions. Okay, guys? And parallel will show you how to add a score, how to increase it, that as well.
Excuse me, sir, it's already 12, so are we done, or we'll have to wait for some more time?
No, I'm done with this actually. So I have given some task to these people, like, and they need to work on that. Then when they work on that, then they'll get an issues, errors, they'll understand. I'll explain these issues in the evening class. Any questions? Okay, guys. Okay, the task is create a door and just check what is the issue with that code. Okay, the moving position. When you are done with these two things, then we'll move to next step about collisions and about animations. We'll see 2D animation, sprite animation. We'll see 3D animation. This is our evening session. Okay, guys. Tomorrow we'll work on UI system, how to create a UI HUD, navigating to screen by screen. We'll see that one. And in the end of the day, we'll see how to create a build and how to check in the Android actually. Okay. So see you guys in the evening. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir, for joining, and we'll see you again in the evening.
Yeah. Thank you.